Hi guys, this is MJ, and for today's video I'll be talking about how do you maintain or get close with an INTP. And I've made a video about other types as well, so go check them out if you want to. I've made a video about INTJs, INFJs, INFP, and ENTP so far, and I'll make some for the rest. Um, I think the same disclaimer as I have in other videos. You can just concoct a way to get close with someone, but there are tips that I can give to kind of help you get close with the types. I think one note that I usually say also is that you have to make sure that the person that you're dealing with is an actual INTP. So TINESI and FE types, because there are a lot of mistype INTPs as well. So I think there are a lot of mistypes in general. So I think that's one thing that you should consider, because otherwise, of course, some of the advice or tips or things I'll be talking about might not apply to you or the person you're dealing with. I'll just get right to the tips in the video. Okay, so how do you get close with an INTP? Well, it's not it's quite difficult in a sense that you'll have to be a very open person in terms of like things that they're interested in. In the same way that INTJs have niche interests, INTPs also have niche interests. Oh, my dog is like listening. So one good way to kind of get close with an INTP is like have similar things that you're interested in, or if not, if you don't, then it's okay. You can just simply listen to them when they ramble about these things and geek out on certain things. And it's really something that they appreciate. INTPs appreciate when people um, listen to them ramble about stuff that they're interested in. I mean, in the same way that others probably would as well, but that's one way to look at things. That's why INTPs and INTJs are very often friends, because they have the same love for, let's just say, tech or science and all that. And so it's one thing that you can. My dog is like literally listening. One of the things that you can consider in being friends with them, like research on the stuff that maybe they're interested in. But that's a little bit of an effort on your end. But if you really want to talk about something, talk about stuff that they're interested in, and get them to talk to you about them. Get them to lecture you about it, because they would gladly share the things that they're interested in with someone who's more than willing to listen and will be respectful of that. So number one, I think one big thing for an INTP is space. And I think this is a little bit more different from other types, because they're very particular about space. They literally need their mind to roam freely to be able to just research, play games, do stuff on their own. If you're friends with an INTP or dating one, then of course they'll have time for you. But for the most part, they allocate their time with only the people that they genuinely care about, they've been friends with for a long time, they're dating, or their hobbies, their personal little hobbies, and their spending time in their inner world and learning a new software or learning a new game or whatever, or reading a new book, researching about a new topic that they're passionate about or got interested in. So that's one thing. Don't force them to socialize or criticize their idea of fun. Of course, it's the same that you would do with other types, but also particularly with them. Don't make fun of them for that, and don't criticize their idea of fun is just being at home and chilling. So chill with them, chill with them. That's one thing that you're one good way of like spending time or getting close to the INTP. Go to their space, especially when they allow you to, of course, but don't force them. Okay. Second of all, share and discuss or debate new ideas. Well, it doesn't have to be new ideas, but it can be anything that's relevant, anything that's happening in the world, tech, science, politics. If those are things that fancy the INTs in general, then you can create that meaningful, deep, thought-provoking discussion with them. But they would rather talk about these than their emotions. That's one thing, you know. But if you actually want them to talk about their emotions, it's going to be an entirely different video. No, I'm kidding. But for someone who has demon FI, you have to imagine that they have a harder time to, to talk about their emotions because they don't even know what those are. Like, they don't know what they're truly feeling. And again, this is for real INTPs, of course. And so if you have inferior FE and you have demon FI, what do you expect? Someone who knows what's happening, someone who knows what they're feeling. Very often they don't. It takes years, no, well, sometimes even years, but it takes months, weeks, years for them to kind of figure out what's going on in here and here. And so you can't coax that out of the INTP. You have to let them open up to you or open up about that personal, deep, emotional thing for when they're ready. And it takes a while because sometimes they don't even know what they don't know. That's essentially what it means. So the emotional aspect is on, you can put that on hold, but when it comes about, you have to listen and not judge them and not give them a solution. Just let them have that release. But before that even happens, I think it's best that you just maintain that healthy um, healthy relationship or friendship with the INTP. Also, one way to kind of get close with an INTP is to actually help them with menial tasks. If there's a chore that they need to do that they still haven't done, if they're hungry and they don't have food and they have forgotten to eat, feed them, help them with this, help them with that. They'd forever be loyal to you. Well, not, I'm just exaggerating, but of course they did genuinely appreciate when people do things for them, because sometimes they don't even remember that they have to eat. So bring them food, get them to keep hydrated, and they'll thank you forever. So I think that's one thing. Essentially, give them space, share, discuss ideas, and eventually the feelings. Once they've seen you genuine and really worth sharing things to, if you're very likely even a feeler, they'll eventually open up to you. Especially thinkers, if they're dealing with thinkers. If you're a thinker, then of course it'll be different because you'll talk about solutions immediately. But if it's about emotional soft stuff, then the feelers can benefit from just waiting it out. Okay, and yeah, just help them. They'll be grateful for it. So if you want to learn more about other types, go check out my other videos. I have made a video about how do you know if an INTP likes you. That might be helpful to you as well. But yeah, if you'd like, please do consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you have any comments and suggestions, leave them down below. And if you want to get typed, I offer in-depth type assessments as well. I'll see it in the clip after this. And so yeah, thanks everyone. Bye. Follow me on my socials at MBTI Time on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you're not sure if you're an INFP, INFJ, ENFP, INTJ, or any other type, book a typing session with me by visiting www.mbtitime.com. Links in the descriptions down below.